Hello, and welcome back to another episode of From Performer to Producer podcast. My name is Bugom. I am an actress, opera singer, and a culture entrepreneur. And today I want to double down on a topic I've opened up a few times in the past few episodes, and that's betting on ourselves as artists and on our art bringing in the income, especially earning from our own performances instead of or at the same time as earning from, getting auditions, getting cast in other people's projects and productions. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine and colleague, and he just had a premiere of his show recently. He directed it. He opened his own company 2 years ago, and the show went really well, and he got an invitation to a festival and everything. And we were talking the other day, and he told me, oh God, I need to find a job. I need to, start waitressing again, or is it waitering? I don't know. I have to find a job in some shop or something to start earning money. And I looked at him and I said, why? Why don't you want to bet on yourself? And he was like, well, I need the money. I said, I know. But the thing is, you have a show ready to go. It's not like you have to put in the time to create another show. So, of course, you have to have some sort of income. I'm not supporting starving artist mindset or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But you have a show that's ready to go, and you have enough money saved right now to, live for another month. And you can start selling your show today. You can put in the work and start selling your show today. It's not something that needs to wait. It's not something that needs, you need another 3 months to end the show to start selling it. You can start doing that today, and you can already sell another performance in the next 2 weeks and earn money from that. And he had such a huge block, and I understand him. I did too, and I do too. And so many of us do. And I'm sure that most of us, if, we've been studying for more than a year, let's say, we have a concert program ready. We have a performance ready. We have a piece of art ready to go and be sold and bring in money. But I've struggled with this a lot when I created my own show, my first show in the theater. It was a very weird feeling because I didn't give myself credit for it, because I didn't value it as much as I did when I got cast in someone else's production, because I gave myself the job. So it's not, I didn't get any external validation of you're a performing artist and you're good enough to be cast. But I actually felt like I had to create my own performance because I wasn't getting cast. And I devalued my own work, and the fact that I actually created and produced a show by myself that was actually really well received. And not until that same show got picked up to international festivals, and we went with it to Kreni before the war started, and we went to it to Korea, and we got invited to Sri Lanka, which is, it's crazy for me. The first time that invitation letter arrived, that's when I started feeling the validation of, okay, this show means something. And that's sad, because I'm an artist, I'm a performer, and I don't value the work that I create by myself, because that's not what we're taught to. And I just wanted to inspire you to make 2023 the year that you start betting on yourself. As I said, it's not that I'm saying, don't get a job and starve until you start earning money from your art. That's not what I'm saying. You have to first remove the existential dread in any way. But if you do have a performance ready, if you do have a concert program ready, which I'm sure you do, or whatever it is, if you have an idea for a show, start developing it, then in time, we'll talk about that more in some other episode about developing a show. But I'm sure you have something ready that you can start performing now, even if it's in the street. Street performers, first of all, they're so brave. I've never seen an opera singer on the street. I'm still very afraid of doing it. I did it once during COVID. I performed in a park for my neighbors, which was cool. I'm always afraid that if I sing on the street, someone's gonna call the police on me. Something I also have to work on. But street performers also earn their money and they perform. But I'm sure that if I told you now, I repeated this several times now, but research proves that our brain it won't show us the possibilities unless we ask it. If we ask our brain to think of the possibilities and ways that we can earn money, it's going to find them. You're going to find them. If you think about, okay, if you're in a situation where, I think I talked about this in the past episode, but I'm going to repeat it anyways. If I told you that there is no other way on earth, that there is a law now that artists can't be employed in anything else but arts, and you have to come up with a way to sell or perform your pieces, you would find at least 5 ways, I'm sure, to earn money from your performing. But we are so rooted in this, I have to, as my friend, I have to waiter until my show picks up. And I told him, your show is not going to pick up until you start doing the work, until you pick up the phone and start calling around, and start selling your show, until you start doing the promo work. Thank God we live in the area of social media where you can do your promotion for free. But nobody's going to buy your show until they know it exists and that they can buy it. I told him it's a show for students. And I said, call the student centers in our town and call the universities. And he was like, who would want to buy a show for their university? I said, I don't know. You have to call, you have to ask, you have to offer. They don't know this show exists. Maybe in a university would love that. Maybe they have a university, they have a student council that wants to organize stuff for their members. You never know, but you can't assume in advance and say nobody will want to buy this. There are so many possibilities and opportunities to earn money with performing, but we are locked in this one path, in this one way, and we are not betting on ourselves. And we are ready to work for, again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that working for someone else is not an option and shouldn't be an option or whatever. On the contrary. But so many of my colleagues, including me, thought more about, okay, I'm going to waiter for eight hours a day and then I'm going to work on my art or whatever, instead of I'm going to put in the work now and I'm going to, call and offer and email people and sell my performances. That, as I said, we do have, so it's a very weird autonomy. How do you say that in English? I don't know. But it's this mindset and this, of course, the lack of knowledge as well, that we don't know how to create a project, how to create an offer, what it has to include. We are not taught to send media, how do you say that? Today my English sucks, I'm sorry. To the media, to the press releases, yes, about ourselves. We're taught none of this, but it can be taught, and you can set up your business as a performer. Whether you sing at weddings, whether you offer your services at hotels, you maybe hold a cabaret or a concert once a week at a hotel lobby, or you perform on the street, or you perform at weddings or funerals, or you create your own thing and performance, and you tour your city, you go through schools, or you go through different, I don't know, it depends where you are. We have these also touristic offices organize often events, or you go whatever. There are so many possibilities and opportunities. And there's so many artists now that share their singing on TikTok and YouTube and get hired like this as well, or just make money from that. And of course, then there's teaching. I'm now talking about strictly performing opportunities. But it's just, apply for festivals, and there are festivals that pay you to perform. That's where you can network with other people. There are just so many opportunities. And as I said, if you just take pen and paper and say to your brain, okay, we need to find a way to earn money from performing, there's just no other way, you won't find it. And we are so ready to pay. I saw a story of a great artist I'm following for a while now on Instagram, and she said how in the past year she spent almost 10,000 euros on the costs of being a performer. That included auditions, lessons, traveling, all of that stuff. And we were so ready to give money to become better performers, to just be heard in a room. We were ready to get money. We were ready to travel to a totally different country to be heard at a competition, to pay for the traveling, for the accommodation, for the lessons, for the, outfits, everything, to be heard for 2 minutes. But we are not ready or taught how to make money from that same thing. We invest so much, but then we are very embarrassed and shy to sell that thing we invested in so much. We are such powerful assets. Performers invest in them not only money, but time and energy and emotion. We are trained so well, and then we are kind of shy to sell that and to offer that to the world and to give what we created and what we invested in for years. And it's just bet on yourself this year. That's the message of this quick rant. Just bet on yourself and start finding a way, even if it's just 1 hour a day, how to sell your show. And if you want to learn more about, really creating something that's going to be sustainable, something that's going to be long-term, something that's not going to be accidental, but you're going to have systems and procedures and know really what you're doing, and the whole thing is not going to burn you out, that's why we're here. So check the link in the show notes for our course From Performer to Producer. This is something I created with my mom. We both give lessons, and she coaches you through the whole thing. She's actually over 40 years of experience as a producing performer. She founded the company that now I took over, and everything I'm telling you I actually learned from her. So I'm just more talkative on this side, but yeah, really, that's why we created it for you. And it can be enjoyable, and it can be sustainable, and it can be so fulfilling, and you can earn money from performing. I promise you, it's possible for every and each one of us. I know it because I'm doing it. And I also, as I said, I didn't bet on myself. I didn't pay myself for a very long time. It's just bet on yourself. Please bet on yourself. Just start selling the thing that you have, because there is someone out there who wants to hear it. In hospitals, in old people's homes, in schools. You can create a program. There's so many opportunities. You have to find what works for you and what you want to do, but there's so many opportunities, and it's possible. I promise you, whatever you want to do, whatever kind of performance you want to do, whatever style you want to do, I promise you, there is someone who's going to buy it. For sure. You just have to get out there and start believing that you can make money from your own performances. Okay? Please believe me. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share this episode with people you know and who you think would benefit from this. If you have any questions, I will leave our Instagram handles as well in the show notes, so you can contact me or write on Vestals, and check everything about our work also on the link. Thank you so much for listening and for tuning in for, I don't know which episode this is already. It means a lot. All of your feedback means a lot. And let me know if there's something specific you'd like for us to talk about. I'm definitely going to record soon a conversation with my mom as well for the podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a lovely day. And please bet on yourself. Please.